Some people call my hometown funky. Some call it Cal, but I've always called it Panther City. The idea that my tribe all had a sleeping panther within has informed my muse all my life.
You don't get to choose your own muse. Your muse chooses you.
This is me. Both of us know why we're here. We dig the water from the well. Get water from the well. We get water from the well. We get water.
Yeah, this was Niles City. It's kind of a terminus point for the cattle drives coming up the Chisholm Trail. Vaqueros and cowboys singing campfire songs, and met up with bawdy house piano players and sultry singers here, and the gambling joints and whorehouses in Niles City. A place to rest and relax halfway up toward Kansas City. A lot of deals were made here, a lot of cattle sold, and a lot of songs sung. And this is kind of where that song started, that is the sound that the Sleeping Panther makes right here in Niles City. Fort Worth was across the river up on the bluff. It had its own section. It had Hell's Half Acre, and they made a lot of noise there too. And that all started blending into what eventually became the sound of this town, Panther City.
If you're from Fort Worth, at some point you've heard of the Sleeping Panther. In 1875, a Dallas lawyer, a guy who hadn't been able to cut it in Fort Worth and he crossed over the Trinity, came to town to meet some honchos about a major business deal on behalf of some of his new Dallas cronies. When he got back to Dallas and reported on his trip, he told his associates that when he got off the coach, he looked around and the streets were so quiet, there was a panther sleeping in the middle of the road. There was an article that was written in the Dallas paper about that panther. Dallas folks would snicker, but Fort Worth found it a source of pride. The late great Texas poet and madman Roxy Gordon said in his poem Indians, Fort Worth is an Indian. Dallas wants to be an Indian.
Oh.
We come up from the deepest ocean, we're flying through the clear blue sky. We bubble up from beneath the earth and then we flow like a river till the river runs dry. By and by and by, by and by. Hey, you know we're gonna flow like a river back to the ocean one day. You know we're gonna flow like a river back to the ocean one day. Hey, hey. We woke up, it was a clear blue morning, beginning of a brand new day. We still got a long, long road, I hope you know the way. By and by and by, by and by, yeah. You roll like a river back to the ocean one day, yeah. You know we're gonna roll like a river back to the ocean one day. All right, on the flow, roll like a, hey, come on. So we got to keep on driving down the road to where we're gonna be. I don't know if we're ever gonna make it, but I know we'll only make it if we all agree. By and by and by, by and by, by and by,
By the mid-30s, the Cowboys had been joined on these nights by oil boom rig rats. Hell's Half Acre and Niles City had been eclipsed by the Jacksboro Highway. From the 1920s through the late 60s, and then from the Trinity River Bridge to Casino Beach on Lake Worth, Jacksboro Highway was a road packed with ballrooms and dives, steakhouses and dance halls, gambling dens and brothels. My first concert was Conway Twitty here at the Rocket, with the roof open to the stars one night when my parents couldn't find a babysitter. Two events in 1936 altered the muse of the sleeping Panther forever. One night after a gig at Crystal Springs Dance Hall, Milton Brown of Milton Brown and the Brownies brought a lady he had met at the show here to the Avalon Motel. And it was in the wee hours of the morning that he was taking her home, and he got killed in a wreck as he pulled out here on the Jacksboro Highway. Milton had also been in a prominent string band that worked for Burris Mills in Saginaw called the Light Crust Doughboys. His bandmate was a fiddle player named Bob Wills, and because we lost Milton that night, Bob Wills is still the king. The second event came totally out of left field.
Well, I remember when my family could still gather by the creek. All kinds of relations bringing all kinds of things to eat. My cousin and I get on our horses and ride down to the bend in the creek where the college finds all of them dinosaur bones. It's in the waters that running deep and clear here, and you can still swim without your clothes on there, and there ain't nobody cares. My grandpa Boyd, he moved into town, but he still calls for the family to all gather round and sing. Yeah, we could hear him calling us from the creek. Yeah, he sang, hey, come on back, boy, we'll sing that life-giving song. We'll sing it out loud when we know that we're singing a life-giving song. You know, just like a river it flows. Yeah, now when you sing that life-giving song, we jump back on the horses and we rode toward that song. Cause when it sounds like that, you just gotta sing along. When all the ladies are singing them words of love, and all the gentlemen are singing about the Lord of love in harmonies. Yeah, and 5 parts of harmony. Yeah. They start to sing in that life-giving song, just like a river it flows, yeah. And when they sing in that life-giving song, they let it go when they know that they're singing a life-giving song. Oh, to the ocean they go, yeah. When they sing that life-giving song, they let it go, 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 let it go. To that life-giving song, to the ocean. Now, when you sing that life-giving song, let it go.
The Texas Centennial Commission chose Dallas as the site for the big celebration for the Centennial of Texas. They built what we now know as Fair Park. Panther City honcho Eamon Carter decided that we needed our own party. He hired Billy Rose to produce a huge extravaganza fandango called Casa Mañana. They built a building that seated 4,000 at tables in a huge Spanish Mission Art Deco styled amphitheater with moats and fountains and a show of shows. So now jazz, Tin Pan Alley songwriters, and Broadway show tunes became a part of the sounds of Sleeping Panthers.
Toasting memory Dallas, fighting in LA, confusion and hatred and bigotries, they're polluting the Chesapeake Bay. Somewhere a hummingbird's mating, oh, he's flying straight up in the sky, and he's falling back down to earth again, only to flurry and scurry and fly. They just can't get it straight inside Sarajevo. And Jerusalem broke down and cried. And everywhere I go, everybody wants to know, whoa, what has happened to the beautiful child? It's all over the world. It's all over the world. And every little boy and every little girl now, yeah, 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 they're all over the world. And somewhere up in those mountains, oh, that fertile valley lies, oh, where all the humans are being very much alive and all over the world. It's all over the world. And every little boy and every little girl now, oh yeah, yeah, all over the world, 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 all over the world,
My dad always told me I was born to boogie. On New Year's Eve, 1950, my mom and Pop and three other young couples, all from the little town of Sidney, Texas, drove over to Brownwood to see Bob Wills and the Texas Playboys ring in the bell on the new decade. Over a 2-week period in October, all four couples had babies. 4 months later, my parents packed us up and moved us to Fort Worth, the city of the Sleeping Panther. My hometown tribe informed my life as an artist. Family and community are factors in the communication we have with our muse. My family created and nurtured my muse, but my good fortune to grow up in Panther City is what led the way for me down that funky highway. I was tap dancing at 5, singing in the Texas Boys Choir at 8, and that's that building right over there where we rehearsed, and running set pieces up and down the aisles at Casa Mañana at 10. But it was in the stacks and music listening rooms at the old downtown library. Used to sit right there where my creative mind really exploded. And I studied theater and music all through high school. Met Johnny Simons, who later formed Hip Pocket Theater. Studied theater and music all the time in high school. I spent my senior year, though, in Houston at Bel Air High. My English teacher was Hazel Thompson, whose son, Mayo Thompson, was in a band called the Red Crayola. And it was Mayo that got me signed to International Artist Records, 1967. And I'm at the 13th floor elevators, and I got psychedelicized. And my folky songwriting became what Bill Bentley called the roots of freak folk. I always wanted to do this.
And if I look east, I see the sun is going down. Oh, yeah. Oh, when the children take control of the streets, but you can't feign knowledge to people who are asleep. And that's when sincerity becomes requisite for you. Stop playing sometime. That's when the words to this song they come alive with ambiguities. And which meaning do you find wrong? Truth, the only reality that you have left to live now. Man's the virgin, loves the Father, light will shine again on earth. Oh, right. Out, shine on, shine, hey, that's when the words to this song come alive with ambiguities, which meaning do you find wrong? is truth, reality that you have left to live now. Man's the virgin, loves the Father, light of light will shine again on earth.
This was the Caravan of Dreams. From 1984 until 1990, I was associate artistic director, theater manager, sometimes general manager, and a producer of music and theater events. But that's a whole other story.
That was the Caravan of Dreams. Everything from the corner all the way down to the juvenile shoe store. It was an amazing place, an avant-garde performing arts center. And I met amazing people while I was there. Timothy Leary, William Burroughs, Yevtushenko, musicians, Dizzy Gillespie, Wynton Marsalis, Sonny Rollins, Delbert McClinton, Lyle Lovett's big band played there at the early days of his band. And the house band one time was the original Dixie Chicks. Another house band was the Edie Brickell and the New Bohemians. We made the first video that Edie Brickell and the New Bohemians made right there in the theater in that building. It was absolutely amazing. A record label, 450-seat performance arts center, a 200-seat theater on the second floor with a full recording studio and a rooftop grotto bar with the geodesic dome, which was the last geodesic dome built by Buckminster Fuller. Right there.
In a suburban 84, had my headphones on, but knocking on my door. Baby, tell me, baby, don't come now, my baby don't go, my baby don't live here anymore. Baby ain't got nothing on me, no. Life is for living, that's my philosophy. Yeah. Oh. Alright. I headed down to Yucatan in 85, had my mini cam, my shuckin' jive. Oh. Yeah. But doing all the dances like a Mayan do, drinking pokey wine, I'm singing the blues, singing the blues. Mayans ain't got nothing on me now. Life is for living, that's my philosophy, yeah. With the Chinese girl who was really in the know. Oh, yeah. She told me about the crystal in the mountains, stone in my mind, childhood ways I'd have to leave behind. But childhood ain't got nothing on me. Life's for living, that's my philosophy. Yeah, we get on. Oh, monitoring a grapevine. And bogey singing, baby, don't come now, baby, don't go, baby, don't live here anymore. No, baby, ain't got nothing on me. Life's for living, that's my philosophy. Yeah. Oh, 9 lost zero. I did get to meet so many incredible artists right here in Panther City from all over the world. I could go on and on and on. It was an amazing time, and they were all amazed at the depth of the Panther City muse. Ornette Coleman was a regular visitor to Caravan, staying for weeks at a time in our apartments and working with us on many projects, theater, music. We released 2 albums of his. One night after the club closed, he told me a story about his high school days and why he even played a sax. He told me Louis Jordan's band was playing at the ballroom at the Blackstone Hotel. And one of the sax players got caught with a West Side housewife in one of the hotel rooms. And he was fired on the spot and put out on Main Street with a suitcase and his sax and a $20 bill. And he walked down to the east side and into the first bar he came to. And he sat on that bar stool, and he just happened to sit next to the coach from I Am Terrell, and he told him his sorry tale. And the coach told him that they had had a music teacher at I Am Terrell since the previous music teacher had passed away 2 semesters earlier. And they took him the next morning to meet the principal, and he got the job. And he taught that class for 2 semesters till he made enough money to get back to L.A. But out of that class that he taught, and I Am Terrell, came Ornette Coleman, Dewey Redman, and King Curtis. It's the Panther City Muse. sweet pay give you the time of day. Well, from the garden now to keep our minds in. We could dance to the sway rhythm, we could play, yeah. Something like this. Hey, all right. Here we go. Hey, hey.
Ornette Coleman, King Curtis, Betty Buckley, Mary Martin, Van Cliburn, T-Bone Burnett, Stephen Bruton, Phil White, Johnny Reno, Robert Ely, Ray Sharp, Bob Wills, Milton Brown, Delbert McClinton, Bruce Chanel, Townes Van Zandt, Steve Earle, even Willie stayed here. And newer cats like Denver Williams, Tommy Luke, Leon Bridges, Eddie Dunlap, Daniel Katzuk, Ting Tang Tina, Neil Vincent Emerson, and so many more have lived or are living with the Sleeping Panther.
Chaos all around me now. With its fever clinging, but I could hear you singing in the corners of my brain. Every doubt that hounds me bounds me in. Every sound of riot, everything is quiet now except for this song, and that's what's keeping me sane. Yeah. I can hear your voice echoing my voice softly. I can feel your strength reinforcing mine. And if you fear that love will lose its spirit now, like a drunkard loses his spilled and wasted wine, hey, now don't you even think about it now. Don't you think about it at all, 'cause I find. Yeah. I've been fond. I know what this looks like and how it sounds. Just for a moment, this is me. Both of us know why we're here. We dig the water from the well. We get water from the well. We get water from the well. We get water from the well. Saints and beggars all stand in line, waiting on board the train one last time. Leaves at midnight, arrives at dawn. If you wanna get home, make sure you get on. We get a water from the well. We get water from the well. We get water from the well. We get it. Water from the well. Yeah, is that right? The faintest glimmer of the moon through the clouds draws all eyes upward and they sing out loud. Come together, we go together when we wait here all night long. We get our water from the well, we get it, water from the well. We get water from the well, we get it, we get water from the well. We get water from the well, we get water. We get water from the well. We get water from the well. We get water. We get water from the well. We get water from the well. We get water. We get water from the well. We get water from the well. We get water. We get water from the well. We get water. ship arrives from so far away. It's crazy. The anthem of this vessel sings and sounds and sings in the world dreams. Sounds the same in the world dreams. I just saw a face, it's playing on the radio.